10 years ago, to sell electricity using solar without a subsidy, to make money out of solar, the electricity price you needed was 5 times the actual wholesale electricity price. So 10 years ago, you needed an enormous subsidy to make solar viable. This dramatic, we've had a 90% decline in solar panel prices since then. And so we've seen now to make a solar project viable, you need $50 a megawatt hour, and the wholesale electricity price in Australia is 80 to 100. So now we're in the position where in a decade you've gone from something that needed an enormous subsidy to something that's actually cheaper than the current wholesale electricity price. So large utilities are naturally going to go, where's the cheapest source of energy, regardless of whether it's green or not. And right now, solar is definitely the cheapest source of energy. So I think that's probably what we miss in the debate in Australia. This switch to, because it's happened so rapidly, talking about these huge subsidies is a conversation from a decade ago. Right now, it's not correct. In most, even in places that aren't super sunny now, you're finding. So northern US, bits of Europe, they can survive without subsidy. The big energy retailers and utilities, because they're intermediaries, as long as they transition to this new renewable future, they'll be okay. They're still going to sell energy. They want to make a margin between where they sell energy and where they buy energy. It's just the energy is going to become increasingly from renewable sources. And so they can meet their goals of making a profit, servicing customers, doing it in a green way pretty well. And I think the AGL approach, when they talk about replacing aging coal-fired power stations, they talk about doing it with a bundle of renewables and batteries and pump storage. I think that is their natural path. I think the people who will have a challenge are those entities that are just involved in coal-fired electricity generation. That sector is in decline. It's going to be increasingly replaced by renewable energy. But in Australia, most of that they're either part of it, overall utility, and we naturally phased away by AGL and Origin, etc., just phasing them out over time. And the only real businesses that are just in the game of selling coal-fired electricity generation are the Queensland government-owned electricity generators, and they'll have a challenge. So renewables are already there as a key component of electricity generation. Even without breakthroughs in storage technology, you can handle a system that's 30 or 40% renewables, and we see that around the world already happening. But I think storage, by 2040, batteries and storage technology will be on song, and I think the capacity for renewables, renewable energy plus storage capacity to provide all electricity, particularly 50% higher. I've seen forecasts that suggest a doubling or tripling depending on how important electronic vehicles come. Because electronic vehicles is not just cars, it's trucks, it's trains, and I know it's hard to imagine, it's planes as well. So the transformation that could happen where you replace all oil-based transport with electric-based transport, the increase in electricity demand is enormous. And I think by 2040, the capacity is there to do that with renewables and storage at a lower cost than we do at the moment.